they're too nice. I would like to invite on stage my friend and colleague, the extraordinary Barry Munstergeister, for the first appearance.
Thanks, everyone. So, many of you know we have an office up in San Francisco. Anybody been there? Okay, so everybody knows it's in the historic Hills Brothers Coffee Building, which I believe was built in something like 1926, so pretty historic. We moved in about 2 years ago up on the 7th floor, and then slowly filled that so much that we had to move into part of the 4th floor. And then we had to move into the 1st, the 2nd, and it kind of spilled out into a couple other areas in that building. And the whole time we've been there, we wanted to make our presence and kind of turn it into a place that we felt was more Mozilla. So, you know, it used to be a Gordon Biersch down on the 1st and 2nd floor, and to keep that kind of history of that space, we kept the bar that many of you've seen on the Monday morning meetings. So, anybody come up and hang out at that bar before? Yeah. All right. Enjoyed the cocktails and some of the other stuff during cantinas? Yeah. So, there's a whole history to that space. There's a history to the Embarcadero. It's a very beautiful and culture-rich experience to be right there on the waterfront. It's a place where photographers will come, and they have lots of moments of getting beautiful shots of things. You know, we have Klaus Oldenburg's got the Cupid span. Richard Serra has an installation in the Gap building right next door to us. And then the Black Rock Arts Foundation, the guys that run all Burning Man, every once in a while will throw up a rocket ship. So, the Bay Bridge, you get this beautiful view from our, the balcony up on the 7th floor. And we've been trying to figure out how to make this space fit into that environment with our signage on the outside of the building. And it felt really, really wrong to just come along and throw a logo up on the side of the building. So, like the picture on the right, we wanted to do something that was a little bit unexpected. And when we pitched the city, we came to them with this idea that that presence on the corner wasn't only going to activate the intersection at a pedestrian level, but it does so in a way that's reflective of the accessible and interactive nature that defines the products we build and those of you in the room that have created them. So what we're trying to do is figure out a way to kind of get rid of this thing that doesn't look all that great on the corner, and we want to replace it with something that looks more like that. So, I'm going to run through a couple of the ideas and details on this. So on the left is the old green elevator. It's a behemoth. I mean, it is gigantic. It's nothing anybody really wants to look at. But on the right, this is something that we've been working on since January, and we finally got approval to put this thing in the ground before the end of the year on Friday.
Cool.
So, this is a lot more of a human scale. You know, we got signage. It's actually a column, and I'll break it down in a second. It's about 14 feet tall. For those that don't know what a foot is, 4.2 meters tall. And it's a little bit more unique take on what we could have done with the logo. I did a study of all the circular logos that are out there in the wild, and every one of them was just stuck on the side of the building. So, since we had the globe as part of our logo, figured let's play around with some stuff with that. So the top of it is a glass cube. Inside that glass cube is a sphere to represent the globe. The glass cube talks about the transparency of how we do things and how we're open to the world and what we do. Each one of those glass cube faces has a hole cut in it where the sphere can actually protrude out from inside. And then the Firefox logo itself is bent to match the curve of the sphere. So there's been a lot of stuff that we've been playing around with this stuff, and the bottom half is actually what we're really, really, really proud of. The bottom two dark panels, everyone in the room can put your name on it. Everyone in Brussels, and anyone that's helped Mozilla with any of the products and any of our success throughout the history of the company since the start of the project. This is crazy. So in order to get these things built, we've been working with a sign manufacturer. So the stuff on the left is a laser cut version of the Fox, and you can see it kind of in its raw form. And that thing is about this wide. I mean, it's huge. It's taller than, maybe taller than this room. And then on the right, we have just kind of a mock-up to see how all the pieces fit together. We had to get up some pretty interesting ways to get the Fox to stick into the glass panels, trying to be as seamless as possible. And this is kind of where we did a little mock-up to show how the names are going to be represented on it. So this is a close-up between the panels. The doing good is part of our code. Anybody believe that? Everybody's going to be able to see that day or night. It's backlit. It's etched through the glass, or through the metal panels that are on the bottom half. And it will always be there for everyone to remind everyone what we do and how we support our community and those that are part of it, holding up Firefox on top of this tower. So, the inscription on the lower panel is, "These are the technologists, thinkers, and builders, past and present, who help us keep the internet alive and accessible. A global community dedicated to preserving the power and potential of the world's largest public resource." What I ask for you now is to go to Mozillians.org and join the SF Monument Group. This doesn't have to be right this second. Thank you. Realize that there's not enough wireless to actually do this all at the same time, but that group is filling up pretty quickly. Brussels and Toronto have already got in there and started populating that. Anybody you know that wants to be part of this, that's been part of Mozilla's success in the past, we get people up on there as much as we can. I think we have room to float it and make more names available as the project expands. These panels are not permanent. They can come down and we can add to them at any time. We've got some other ideas of things that we're going to do as far as a Wi-Fi network dedicated to this tower. There's going to be a site with a documentary video documenting all the process of us building this thing. And that's all I got for you.
Are you planning to use about credit to clean up the panels?
I can't hear you, I'm sorry.
Are you going to use about credits to finish the panel?
So the reason we have the Mozillians.org SF group set up is so that we can get permission from everybody. We will be reaching out to everybody. We will be talking to them. We are going to go back into about credits for people that have worked on the projects before. But there's other people that have done stuff for Mozilla that are not part of Firefox. So we want to make sure that we get everybody up there. Woo! Next up are Harvey and Brendan. But first, thanks for everybody.